Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer, I think. This is episode F144, I believe, and I am here to tell you about some words. So, let's talk about them. Let's see, the first word is fluidity. Fluidity, F-L-U-I-D-I-T-Y. Now, what does that spell? Fluidity. I gotta rotate this thing. Okay, now, fluidity is a noun from 1603. Number 1, the quality or state of being fluid. That's fluidity. You have fluidity when you turn into a liquid. At some point, maybe you turn into a liquid, then you will have fluidity. Number 2, the physical property of a substance that enables it to flow. The physical property that a thing has that allows it to flow is the property of fluidity. Sometimes people like to do some rapping off the top of their head. They will come up with lines and phrases and rhymes, and they call that flowing. I cannot flow. This is not a thing that I can do. So I do not have this physical property of fluidity. But there are some people out there who are very talented with the fluidity. It is not something that I own. Let's see. Let's say a sound effect, which is going to be... The next word is fluidize. Verb from circa 1855. Let's see, it's just transitive. Number 1, to cause to flow like a fluid. Making a thing flow like a fluid. Making a thing flow like a fluid. I think that's the second time I've done that, at least. Number 2, to suspend in a rapidly moving stream of gas or vapor to induce flowing motion of the whole. And the thing that is being suspended is solid particles, any sort of solid particles. So you're suspending these solid particles in a rapidly moving gas or vapor to induce flowing motion of the whole. So is this like, when you put a car into one of those fluid dynamics chambers? Are you fluidizing the car because they're running the gas, the stream, the vapor over the car to see how the vapor changes with the shape of the car? To suspend solid particles in a rapidly moving stream of gas or vapor to induce flowing motion of the whole. Sure, I guess my example is perfectly fine. Fluidization is a noun, and fluidizer is a noun. What job do you want to have when you grow up? I want to be a fluidizer. I want to put solid particles in a rapidly moving stream of gas or vapor. Next is fluidized bed. 2 words. Ooh, is this like a waterbed? I sure could go use a nap right now. I mean, it's morning time for me, but I am still sleepy. Fluidized bed. Oh, I want to sleep in a fluidized bed. This is a noun from 1949. It is a bed of small solid particles like a coal-burning furnace, or in a coal-burning furnace. They are suspended and kept in motion by an upward flow of a fluid like a gas. So wait, it's a bed of small solid particles. So, the coal burning furnace. So is it the coal in the furnace? Are the solid particles, and they're suspended in the furnace? Kept in motion by an upward flow of a fluid. So maybe the gas that is in the furnace, the heat, the fire, is moving up, and the particles is the coal, or maybe pieces coming off of the coal, and so they're suspended in this bed of gas. I guess. It's also called just fluid bed. Doesn't have to be fluidized, it's a fluid bed. Yeah, so fascinating. It seems like a very simple thing, but not a term that I'm aware of. Next is fluid mechanics, noun from 1937. It is a branch of mechanics dealing with the properties of liquids and gases, studying how they move. What are these properties that they have that make them do these things with their different densities and viscosities and friction, probably? And yeah, it's very fascinating. This is like the example I was telling before about the car. I remember seeing an episode of Mythbusters where they put a model car into a tank of some kind, and it's the same kind of test, but it was a very small version of it, and it was very interesting to see how, I think they put food coloring in there, so you'd see how when the water or the vapor, whatever, trails over the car, and then it creates these like turbulent things on the back of the car, and some are very, oh, what's the word? They can move smoothly through the air. It's not dynamic. It's that word that I can't think of. Gosh, ding dang. So yeah, that's fluid mechanics. Now, we've got fluid ounce. 2 words, all spelled out. It's not the abbreviation that we had a couple episodes ago. Fluid ounce is a noun from 1811. Number 1, a U.S. unit of liquid capacity equal to 1/16 of a pint. And it says to see the weight table. So a fluid ounce is a weight. I guess I thought it was volume. Are they all related? I don't know. Yeah, fluid ounce. 1 fluid ounce. Shots, when you get shots, I think they're usually either 1 ounce or 1.5 ounces. And so, yeah, a lot of those cocktail measurements are done in ounces. Fluid ounces. The U.S., this imperial system, it make no sense. We need to get onto this liter system. Number 2 for fluid ounce is a British unit of liquid capacity equal to 1/20th of a pint. Well, now it's just getting worse. Why is the British pint different than the American pint? And our fluid ounce is 1/16th of our pint, and theirs is 1/20th of our pint. Are the fluid ounces the same size, but the pints are different? What is going on? Why is this so complicated? Let's all get on the same system. So they seem to be using both systems, the liters and the metric system and the imperial system. Come on. Again, it says see the weight table. Now it's the word fluke. F-L-U-K-E. First form noun from before the 12th century. Number 1, the synonym is flatfish. Yes, I think maybe the fluke was mentioned as one of the examples of a flatfish. The fish that is just napping. It's napping for its whole life and looking straight up. Number 2, a flattened digenetic trematode worm. A flattened digenetic trematode worm is a fluke. But broadly, the synonym is just trematode or trematode. I think I've heard trematode. It says compared to liver fluke. And that doesn't sound very fun. Is that a worm that's in your liver? Why is it called liver? Is it colored like a liver? Liver-colored worm? I don't know. Ugh, a fluke. This fluke, it's a flat thing. It's a flat fish or a flat worm. It's flat. Flatty, flat, flat. This word is from, let's see, we're going down to Old High German Floh, which means chip. Chip. From Old High German Fla, which means smooth. From the Greek word plax, which means flat surface. And probably to Old English floor, which means floor. And there's more at the word floor. So it's the floor, it's on the floor, it's a flat surface. The fluke fish, that makes so much sense because it's on the floor and it's flat. It's got all the words, so it's a fluke. And then, of course, the worm is flat. And this is all about a flat surface. Okay, yeah, I think I'd heard about the fish. Wasn't sure about the worm. I don't know if I had heard about the worm. The worm. Can I do the worm dance? I've tried. Not so sure how good it is. Instead of the worm dance, it should be the fluke dance. I'm going to do my fluke dance. And then I just lay flat. The second form of fluke is a noun from 1561. Number 1. The part of an anchor that fastens in the ground. It says to see the anchor illustration. Well, what if I go back and look at that? This seems like it's just the part, like the hooky part, that hits the ground and hooks in somehow. And so let's just look at it, because why not? Oh wow, this is bringing back memories, going back this far. ANCHOR. That's where the anchor is. Here we go. We got some anchors. Now it's showing me 5 different anchors, and where is the fluke is number 5. Yes. Yeah, so your typical anchor, there's a pole that goes down, there's 2 things that hook, and one of them is the fluke. It's just the hooky part, and it sort of flays out a little bit. Well, let's go on to let's just keep on talking about the anchor. I think that part is flattened, so maybe that's why it's called the fluke, because it's flat. And then it also goes to the floor of the water, and that's another reason why it could be called the fluke. It hooks into the flat part of the ground. Number 2 is one of the lobes of a whale's tail. One of the lobes. So I believe the whale's tail there's a left side and a right side, and maybe one of those sides is the fluke, because they're kind of flat. And, it's not entirely dissimilar from the fluke on the anchor. It's got 2 things that are sort of flat and splay out. Yeah, one fluke. So do whale tails have 2 flukes? 2 flukes of raisins? I guess so. I'm going to say yes. The third form of fluke is a noun from 1857. So we had all 3 were nouns. All 3 forms of fluke were noun, and they couldn't put them into the same form for some reason. One of them was about fish and worms. The next one was about anchors and whale tails. And now this one is, number 1, an accidentally successful stroke at billiards or pool. Oh, they call it a fluke. Now, I mean, let's go on to number 2, a stroke of luck. The example is the discovery was a fluke. So that's the one that I'm familiar with, which seems very related. It came from the billiards thing. You accidentally made a successful stroke, and so when you do that in billiards or pool, that is actually called a fluke. But then, of course, it was a stroke of luck, and so now we say fluke for anything that has to do with luck. Oh, that was a stroke of luck when you made a hole-in-one in golf. When you walked down the street and somebody gave you $100,000. Oh, what a fluke that was. I have definitely made fluke. What would you call it? A fluke stroke in billiards when I'm trying to go for something else, but something else goes in, and I'm like, that was such a fluke. Such a fluke. I'm going to have to say fluke the next time I'm playing the billiards, and I get lucky. The origin is unknown. Oh, I wish we knew where this came from. I wish we knew. Some person was playing billiards, and they made a lucky shot, and why would they have said fluke? What? Let's get in the head of this pool player, billiards player. Why would they have said fluke? I don't know. Now we've got fluky, F-L-U-K-Y or E-Y, adjective from 1867. Number 1, happening by or depending on chance. Seems like it came from the billiards thing and the stroke of luck. It's just, oh, by chance. Oh, it's just fluky. We had no control over this. It just happened. It's random. Number 2, being unsteady or uncertain. This is used especially of wind. Oh, the wind is acting so fluky today. I can't figure out what direction it's going to go in. Wind, you are so fluky. Fluky wind. I don't know. Yeah, fluky. There's no etymology, of course, because we don't know where it came from. But so it's like, oh, it happens by chance, and then it sort of turned into, you just can't predict it. It's just going to do whatever it's going to do. Now we have the word flume, F-L-U-M-E, noun from 1748. Number 1, an inclined channel for conveying water. And why would you need this water? Maybe for power. An inclined channel for conveying water. So it goes up. Is the water going up this inclined channel, or is it just on an incline and then the water maybe goes down, and then gravity pulls on the water, and then it goes through some sort of system to create some power? So that channel is the flume. Number 2 is a ravine or gorge with a stream running through it. A ravine or gorge that has a beautiful stream running through it. A river runs through it. It's a flume. So would the Grand Canyon be a flume? Because it is a gorge, it's a ravine, it's a canyon, and there's a river at the bottom. The river used to be a whole lot bigger, I think. Sure would have loved to see that thousands of years ago. No, but we're stuck with this crappy little river with a huge canyon, which I still haven't seen in person. I would very much like to. So that is a flume. Why is it called a flume? Let's look at the etymology. It's probably from the Middle English word flume, which means river. That makes a lot of sense. Anything else? Yeah, it pretty much comes from fluid, I guess. So yeah, oh, look at the river. It's a fluid. It's running. We're going to call it a flume. Because why not? Yeah, anything with water running through it, it's a flume. When you do the nose thing, which I don't think I've ever done. What is it? You put the neti pot, put the water, and it goes through your nasal cavity system, and then it comes out the other side, and your whole nasal situation is a flume because a river runs through it. Now we have flummery or flummery. I would have probably wanted to pronounce it flumery, but no, I think it's flummery or flummery, spelled F-L-U-M-M-E-R-Y, noun from 1623. 1A, a soft jelly or porridge made from flour or meal. Now, okay, the porridge makes sense. I wouldn't have called it jelly. When you're making a thing like this out of flour or meal, maybe wheat or corn or something, I would not call that a jelly. Why jelly? Sweet, soft. I mean, I would like to eat it. Don't get me wrong; it sounds tasty, but yeah, I don't understand the jelly and the porridge. Those are different things to me. But it's a flummery. A flummery. Do you think this is British? I think it might be. Number 1B, any of several sweet desserts. Just any of them? Any of these sweet desserts that are out there in the world, all over the world, any of those sweet desserts I can call flummery? Ooh, what's for flummery tonight? Please give me some flummery. Yeah. Number 2, the synonyms are mummery and mumbo-jumbo. Good words. I know mumbo-jumbo, not so sure about mummery, but I guess it's maybe, well, similar to mumbo-jumbo. It's also flummery. So is it like, You're talking mumbo jumbo. You're talking nonsense. This is ridiculous. It's just mumbo jumbo. Mumbo jumbo. Okay. It's flummery. Let's see. This is from a Welsh word, I think. I should probably confirm this W, but I'm pretty sure that's Welsh. Oh, did I mark the page with the yes, the abbreviations? I sure did, because I'm smart. Yes, Welsh. So the Welsh word looks like it's spelled Ilymru. How would you say that? Ilymru? I don't know. The Welsh words are next level fun. Ilymru is flummery, so I guess these are Welsh. Maybe it came from Welsh desserts. Should I look up a picture of this flummery? Flummery dessert. Oh, I saw something about it said the flummery tart. Let's see. What is this? Oh, well, these desserts are very pink. Flummery is a starch-based sweet soft dessert pudding which originated in Great Britain during the early modern period. The word has also been used for semi-set desserts. What is that? Semi-set. Oh, like these are, because it's a pudding, it's not set. So maybe semi-set would be like a gelatinous thing, a jello, something like that. Interesting. So yeah, you can. It's a pudding. That's what it is. Yeah, there's a whole lot of information here about flummery. Ooh, we have some etymology. Interesting stuff. The name is first known in this book, from his small oatmeal by oft steeping it. From this small oatmeal, spelled weird, by oft steeping it in water and cleansing it, and then boiling it to thick and stiff jelly, is made that excellent dish of meat which is so esteemed in the west parts of this kingdom, which they call washbrew, and in Cheshire and Lancashire they call it a flammery or flummery. There's some interesting spellings in that, because this is from the 1620s. This book, recipe book, maybe, I don't know. All right, that's enough of flummery. Now we're gonna go on to it's the word flummox. Flummox. Transitive verb from 1837. The synonym is the word confuse. Confuse. The origin of this is unknown, which is very sad, as usual, but it's a good word, flummox. Yes, I don't think we should use confuse anymore. I think we need to bring back all these old words and say, you have flummoxed me. I am so flummoxed by the words that you are saying. They don't make any sense. So I am flummoxed. Flummoxed. It's like confound it. That's another good old one. What's another? There's some other good old words like flummery. Flum. Here's the word flump, which is basically my sound effect. Flump, first form, verb from 1729. We are starting with intransitive. To move or fall suddenly and heavily, as in flumped down into the chair. Flump. When I'm feeling so tired, I might flump down. Flump down in the chair, flump down on the couch, flump down on the bed. Flump. Transitive is to place or drop with a flump. So you are putting the action on something else. You are flumping it down when you just don't care. You're just throwing things all over the place. I'm flumping you down on the ground. Sure. Anything? There's not much etymology. It does say emit, which does this basically mean that the word is based on like the action itself, the sound of the action? What imitative, that's what that means. So like it's imitative of the action? Is that what it is? I'm not so sure, but it might be. Flump. That's the sound of my butt flumping on the chair. The second form of flump is a noun from 1767. This is a dull, heavy sound as of a fall. The sound that it makes when you flump on the chair is a flump. Flumpin' with a flump. Just like saying the word flump. Flump. Clearly. The next word is flung. F-L-U-N-G. It is the past form of fling. When you fling a thing across the room, you have flung it. Flump. Next is flunk. First form verb from 1823, starting with intransitive. To fail, especially an examination or course. Those are typically the things that you are failing when they say you flunked. You flunked a class, a course, a test, an exam. Oh, you flunked it. I don't think I flunked anything. I mean, I do remember taking an AP statistics test, and I did very poorly on it. Everybody did poorly because they did not teach us the things that were on the test. We were all very confused. So did I flunk it? I don't know. Maybe. I still passed the class. Passed the class. Yeah, fail. It's not a good thing when you're flunking out. Oh, I flunked out of 12th grade. I gotta go back to kindergarten. Transitive, number 1, to give a failing grade to. So this is the teacher or whoever is in control of the situation. They are flunking the student. They are doing the action to the student. They're flunking them because the student didn't try very hard. They don't understand the concepts. Whatever it is, for whatever reason, they flunked. Number 2, to get a failing grade or result in. The result in your test is a flunking grade. Flunker is a noun. That could be the person, the student, who has flunked, or it could be the teacher who is flunking the student. This word is perhaps a blend of flinch and funk. Flinch and funk, and that is very confusing to me. I don't understand how either of those would relate to taking a test or a course, a class. Flinch and funk. Boy, if you've got any thoughts on that, feel free to send me a voicemail, email, whatever it is. That's an interesting one. Flump. The second form of flunk is a noun from 1846. It is an act or instance of flunking. Flump. Now we got flunk out. 2 words, verb from 1920. It's just intransitive. It is to be dismissed from a school or college for fail. Oh, no, there is a transitive. I'm so sorry. This one is intransitive. To be dismissed from a school or college for failure. They are flunking you out of the school because you just failed. You did an epic fail of your classes. So you flunked out. Transitive is to dismiss from a school or college for failure. So the first one, intransitive, that's on you. You are flunking out. But the transitive is they've dismissed you. They say, please leave. You did not do your schoolwork, and we can't have people here who are not doing their schoolwork. So we must flunk you out of this school. We only want people who try. Now we've got flunky. You can spell it with a Y at the end, or an EY, or an IE. Any of those possibilities. It's a noun from circa 1782. Number 1A. A liveried servant. A liveried servant is a flunky. Ooh, what does liveried mean in this context? Well, I think that isn't when you're like driving a car for people, it's a livery service. So there. I don't know what the definition is exactly of that, But yeah, so a servant who's maybe driving cars or something else where you're doing your in service to them in some way, then you're a flunky. Number 1B. One performing menial or miscellaneous duties. Maybe you're the gopher of the situation, the assistant, the yeah, you're just helping out. You're doing all the stuff, the things that maybe a lot of other people don't want to do. You're doing those. So you're the flunky. And I think I can see where this word comes from, but let's keep on reading. Number 2, the synonym is yes man. Just say, yes, I'll do that thing for you. Yes, of course I will. Yes, I have no problem with that. Yes, I will clean your toilet. Yes, yes, yes. I'm a flunky. So, this is interesting. This is very interesting. There's a turn of events here. The etymology says it's Scandinavian, but of unknown origin. But the way I think of it as, any of those definitions that I just read, maybe you're a flunky, maybe you flunked out, maybe you didn't do so well in school, and so the only job you could get was as a servant, a yes man, performing these menial duties, menial jobs. So you're a flunky. That's what I think. Scandinavian? Really? I think that's what the SC means here. Interesting. Okay, well that's flunky. Now we have our last word, which is a scientific-y chemical word. It's fluocinolone. Second word, acetonide. And I shall spell them. Fluocinolone. That's the first word. The second word is acetonide. Fluocinolone acetonide. This is a noun from 1963, and it is a glucocorticoid steroid. A glucocorticoid steroid? A glucocorticoid steroid. C24H30F2O6, used especially as an anti-inflammatory agent in the treatment of skin diseases. When you don't want your skin to flame, to be inflamed, then you will use this fluocinolone acetonide. Whew, it's a mouthful. Let's see. Any interesting etymology? Not particularly. So we are going to say that we have done all the words, and now I must pick a word of the episode. Today we had fluidity, fluidize, fluidized bed, fluid mechanics, fluid ounce, fluke, fluky, flume, flummery, flummox, flump, flump, flung, flunk, flunk out, flunky, and fluocinolone acetonide. I really loved the similarities between most of the words today. The fl sound is always a good sound in your mouth. Flunk, flung, flump, fluke. We could say it that way too, because that's some of the words. Fluke, fluky, flume. Yeah, good stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe this flummery. Flummery. This flummery dessert. Flummox is always a good word as well. Anything else? Yeah, I don't know. I'll just pick flummery. 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 Making a jelly. It's a flummery. Maybe it's pink. Maybe it's not. But it's a flummery and I'm gonna eat it. Yeah, great. I don't think I have another movie to tell you about. Nope. Last night I recorded with Josh Pilch for the Flood episode, and that was a lot of fun. Almost 2 hours. And yeah, good silly stuff right there. Ooh, I can't wait to re-listen to all of that silliness. I'm just gonna laugh my butt off again. So, but we did start watching the 4th season of Righteous Gemstones, and whew, that's a fun show. Very adult. This is the end of the episode. We have reached it. Thank you for checking out this show. Audio podcast, YouTube video stuff. And until next time, this has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Flump.